Yes, welcome to another episode installment of The Way God Intended. Na alibito kama Khalifi. Together Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Today's episode is very special.
Very special
to our hearts, and we trust that it will also become special to you and impact you. So yes, and if you haven't subscribed as yet, why not? So please do not forget to subscribe,
to like,
to comment,
to share,
and to switch on the notification buzzer. So, wow, we are within.
Yes.
We are within. Give out the one No, just one. Thank you. So yes, today we are joined by our parents in marriage. Our parents in marriage. Yes, today we are joined by Pastor Chris Mukoki and Mama Ruti Charlotte Mukoki. Yes, they are our parents in marriage. We met them 8 years ago before we got married. Well, I met them before. I met them through Muruti Papa, Tami Papi. Yes, he was going to minister Muruti. That's how I met Muruti. I fell in love with Muruti. And yeah, and so Tato, something special guy in Tato. And we needed premarital counselors, and having followed Muruti Mukoki and seeing the impact that he's been making on Apelong Abato, I thought, you know what? This is the best man and they're the best couple to lead us into marriage. And it's been an amazing journey. Papa, Mama, welcome. Thank you for inviting us into your home.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's an honor to be in the program.
No, we are truly honored.
We are blessed.
Amen. We are also blessed to be invited into the program.
Mama and Papa have been in ministry for over 22 years. They've been married for 33 years. And Muruti was 26 years, 27 years married. And Zare, you must catch up. So they set a challenge for us, so we must catch up to 26. So I'm going to 33. So
really, there's no divorce.
There's no divorce. There's no divorce. Yeah, I think we have, I think it's important to have, men and women of God in your life who can help you in this journey, who have been in this journey for longer than you have, who can help you in this journey. Because they've helped us. The premarital counseling helped us. The time that we've had after getting married has helped us a lot as well. So yeah, 33 years married. Ryan, baby.
And not 7 Ryan.
So yes, Mama and Papa are both qualified teachers. Both qualified teachers, and that day Papa has been taught for 8 years.
That's correct, yeah.
Taught for 8 years and was a lecturer. Remember, he was a lecturer. He said it like he was a lecturer at college, and then after that he then moved over to the banking sector. Yes, and he worked across all 4 banks. And he's one person who gets in the financing. Boss. He's got his finances in check, guys.
So we are still gonna see him.
Yeah, you are gonna tell him. Yeah. So Mukoki will definitely be coming back for finances. And then Mama is a qualified teacher, and Honano Mama is running her own teaching organization. Mama's got aftercare programs from grade 1 up to 9, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And she's just doing an amazing job for the community, and she loves what she does. I know that she loves what she does because Mama ready and free. Yes. Then we can come. Wow. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very much.
So there's a stat which was really scary for just over 60%. The last time I came it was over 60% Afela within the first 5 years.
True, that's correct.
And now could we say or maybe premarital counseling did not happen, or if it happened, what could be the cause of that? So we're gonna be dealing basically with pre and post-marital counseling today. So Murti, maybe you can help share what is premarital counseling?
Yeah, premarital counseling is, whenever 2 people decide to get married, they need to talk to somebody who has been there, to talk to somebody who has studied what is going on there. Let me give you an example about the Bible. The Bible was written over a period of 1,500 years. So it has been written over, so now it has got certain patterns. So that is why it is consistent. So now if the Bible is consistent, so now marriage but consistent. So that's why we need to look at what has worked in the past and put it into premarital counseling. This is what I'm going to meet. Consistency in the marriage, consistency in problems, consistency. Things never change. The problems that we have today are the same problems that they had in 2004. Same problems in 1972. Same problems in 1960. Nothing's different. So premarital counseling is a way of trying to help people and say, hey, you are going into this institution of marriage. This is how it's going to go. Yeah.
Wow. And Mama, how would you define premarital counseling from your experience?
Okay, from my experience, I think it is an overview, a general overview of of the highlights of what's gonna happen in marriage. I believe it brings about the blind spots and the potholes in marriage, so that when you get in, you are ready for what's gonna happen.
Can one ever be ready for marriage, man? When I can like generally, can we say 2 people coming in marriage, they are ready to go in marriage? And how do you maybe detect that
I think after the general overview has been highlighted, which means you are giving them a different side that maybe they are not ready for is in the marriage. So you help them to look forward to the challenges so that they are ready to say, we can tackle them in this way. Because premarital counseling is done by people who are in already, who have been through. So they highlight those potholes so that you get ready and be alert of whatever challenges you might face in the marriage.
Papa?
Yeah, then also if you've been told about the potholes and the blind spots and everything else, if you decide, oh no, I'm going there still.
Sure.
I've heard about the potholes. I'll swerve. I've seen the blind spots. I'll look around. You know. So if you can be able to make that commitment and say, I'm ready to face the potholes, I'm ready to face the blind spots, I'm ready to climb the mountain, I'm ready to roll when things roll, you know, then we can say that you are ready. Yeah.
Basic conversation, basic topics that are tackled in premarital counseling. Get a feeling.
Yeah, the very first one, you need to answer the question, who are you? So because the person that you're getting married to, you found them with 32 teeth, raised in another family, different background, then possibly from different cultures. And these days there's interracial marriages as well. So the dynamics are different and they differ every day. So now the first question to ask the person is, who are you exactly? So not I am Chris Mukoki fella. No, I am Chris Mukoki. Who are your parents? How did they raise you up? How did your family generally rise? You know, also, do you have money? Yeah. So, but then it's very, very important that you know exactly who the person is, because you find people want to go into marriage and they never really asked about the background of this person. Maybe my background is something that you may not like. You know, maybe I come from a place where there's witch doctors or so many bad things that may come that I'm coming from. Maybe you might not like, but the sooner you hear about them, if you say no, irrespective of your background, I am willing to go in, you know, because we can work things out, you know.
Speaking of background, say for instance, honale jaka ocho, you know, family or ketwaka or if it happens for say I get on Tapi and I'm seeing her, I really love this woman, I want a future with this woman, and then for the sake of not wanting to lose her. Have you come across such cases, and if how do we deal with them? Because now I believe when I've learned from marriage then exposes who you really are and certain things. So how do you help the couple deal with that, or have you come across a case?
Yeah, you see, in that case, we encourage people not to lie, and people must not hide anything, because it will come out sooner or later. Then if it comes out sooner or later, there could be a disaster. It could be too late. Things may be going wrong. You know, last week I had one minister speaking. In the Bible there's a story of Jonah. So Jonah was sent by God for Aiko and Nineveh. So mara ansachelete apala escape. So vamo acceptile because una the chelete because escaping. But then when things went wrong, when the waves came, the storms came and everything else, that's when they ask him, who are you? So now people go into scape just because one the chelete.
People suffer.
So now people they were suffering now. They lost everything because they never asked the question, who are you? So that's why it's very, very important to know mutu umutibe kuriki man ki mwana man una le bana ba ikai if what thing in ana le bana before you know what happened You may even ask her what happened to your previous boyfriend or girlfriend. You know, why did you separate? Because it's very, very important. You know, if you never had any boyfriend and girlfriend, it's okay. You know, like me, I never had any. You know, yeah. So, but it's very, very important, but very open right from the start. Then you know exactly what you are going to meet. Yeah.
So there's who are you, and then there's number 2. I think there's about 6, 7 topics.
We covered 6. I think we are more.
No, actually, they add on every day because you meet different people and different marriages. So now, the more we counsel people in post-marital counseling, the more we meet and more problems that we incorporate. Yeah, so there are actually many questions now or many answers that people may need when they go into marriage. So I can say, what can you think of?
Because we spoke about when we came to you, our lovely parents, we spoke about finances, in-laws, kids.
Who are you?
No.
Yes, we didn't speak about one. Yes.
I think there was 6. So there's kids, in-laws, finances,
health status.
Yes.
And then I think their accommodation, like after getting married, where we going.
Yes. So now of late, there is this one. If you find a girlfriend at a particular stage, do you pay for their education to go to varsity? You know, because it's on the internet now. It's trending.
Sure.
Yeah, people asking, do I pay for my girlfriend now? Because once I'm educated, yeah, you know this. So now these questions, it's some things that pop up each and every time. So now these topics, like your finances, for instance, it's very, very important. We know that these days people have got to work. Both parties maybe work and both parties earn a salary. So now you need to decide, is money going to play an important role in your relationship now? But before we go to that one, there's this other one that I want us to explore. Why do you want to get married? Yeah, because you mentioned or you call it, people what decide call it morata. Hey, my advice is never marry for love.
Sure.
Yeah, never marry for love, because love can get finished. You know, can fade away. Thank you. Yeah. So you marry for companionship, because all you need is companionship. So, because if you ask somebody, why do you love this person? People will go physical. I love the way they look. I love the sound. I love the voice. I love the, so many physical manifestations that people can talk about. But then those things, after 1, 2, or 3 children, they may fade away. What next? What do you do next? So it's very, very important that people mustn't marry for love. People must marry for companionship, because that's what you need. Even if you've got kids will grow. You'll remain with this person in the house. Companionship. So now is somebody your friend now? Can you rely on them now? Can they support you now? Can you support them now? Are they there for you through thick and thin? Yeah. So you need to marry for companionship and not for love.
Wow.
And then one other thing, why did you choose that particular partner of yours to say, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? What is special about that particular person? That also.
Yes, because I remember there was this one day during our premarital counseling, you gave us, I think it was a homework or something, to write all the things that we love about each other and all the things that we don't like about And then if the things that you love about each other are more than the things that you dislike about the person. So yes, I remember.
Yeah, it's also and the things that you do not dislike. I mean that you dislike. You need to make a decision and say, I dislike this, but I am willing to go on with these dislikes. So now these dislikes, you cannot come back later and say, I want to divorce because of this dislike. You entered knowing about it. So now you need to carry on anything this dislike because you entered knowing. So now this dislike, is it a killer dislike? Can it kill the marriage? Or can it, is it a decider now? So it's very, very important that people talk about such things. The likes and the dislikes. But then if there are more dislikes than likes, then probably that's not the marriage that we would want to try and encourage to go on.
So has there been any instance whereby a couple came and then they had more dislikes than the likes? And then how did you go about it? Was there a case?
There was a case, and we boldly told them that they are not compatible to each other because they were, maybe this other party loved this one because of a particular thing, and then we highlighted that, and then they did not marry. They separated. Yes, after that.
Yeah. So and then after they separated, life went on. They didn't leave the lady didn't leave the church. She continued, and God sent someone in her life. Then she brought. Then we said no, it's okay. And they've been married now 14, 15 years. And they just love it, and they thank us for having told them before.
Because now you don't know what could have happened had they first. If we had first time with the you know what, I love this person, without understanding the companionship element to it. Marry for companionship, not for love.
Actually, I remember one particular one that went ahead and got married that, but then they ended up in divorce. They're divorced now because those things that they were running from, they came back and they haunted them. Now they're separate. 3 kids later, so now 3 kids now, they are not, they don't have a mother and a father together, so so you will have people that force. So remember, counseling, we do not want to tell people whether you need to marry somebody or not. Like Mukoki said, we want to explain the blind spots and the potholes, so that people can make an informed decision. So, but unfortunately, other people come after they've organized the wedding day and everything else. Now they want us to endorse, and it's difficult because they've already made up their mind. They've captured everything there. They're preparing for a wedding, not a marriage. Because a wedding, it's a wedding day, one day only. So what happens after the wedding day? So many things happen, So unfortunately, we do meet such people, but we've got to carry on.
So Mukoki, can you please go deeper? You just explained that wedding and marriage is 2 different things.
Yes, absolutely.
So you explained what wedding is, it's one day. Can you maybe go deeper of what marriage is? The way God intended.
So marriage, sure, if you go back to the Bible, sure, that book, the Bible, the way it's so consistent, it's quite amazing. It says the 2 shall become one. So if the 2 shall become one, it means there must not be any separation between the 2 because they become one. So now, if this other person feels the pain, the other one must feel the pain because you are one. So now, marriage is about being one, being in oneness with somebody else. So meaning that when you are one, you adopt the culture or the feelings, you adopt the emotions, someone to owe, and they become yours, and you fuse them together. So that is the process of putting the two together. That is marriage. So and the way that I think is the way that she thinks. So there's no way that you can come to me with a problem and I tell you, then you know I'm how to solve it. Then you go to her, she tells you a different thing. Even if we didn't talk together, she will tell you what I've told you. Right? Because it's over a period of time where we have fused the way that we think about each other, about the problems, about everything else that we do. So marriage is a process. Marriage doesn't end. Marriage is a process of fusing two people to be together. Yeah. So remember, we come from different backgrounds, different minds, different friends, So now the process of fusing together, it means you stop entertaining everything else around you. You start entertaining your spouse only your spouse. You don't have friends when you're in marriage. You can't have friends. You can't have friends and go for a party if you got a wife. No, you can't. If you go, you must go with her. You can't do it and say, hey, kiakoma jiteng. No, I'm not jita. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then marriage is a journey. Two people agree to walk and then carry one another's burden, help each other without involving the third person, which means you agree to walk this journey together. Yes, so that you can help each other and carry on with life together, solve things together. Whatever comes, the other one becomes the priest of the house, the other one becomes the helper. And then marriage is there to define the roles of each one of you. So when the roles are made clear, you'll be able to know what I am the helper, and then he is the priest of the home. He is the one with a vision, knowing where he's taking you, where the family is going. Yes.
Speaking of roles, speaking of roles, seeing there's this trend, more maybe like in there's this trend on social media that's happening men must provide and I know if it happens I lose my job as a husband and I cannot provide as much as I used to. And now we are relying on my wife's income in the house. How do we deal with that as a family, as a couple, without our roles changing? Without the man's role, as the head of the household, and the wife's role as the helper, the sweet helper, she who submits, because the Bible says husbands love your wives, wives submit to your husbands. Yes. So the whole
then at the end it submit to one another. Yes. Yeah. So the first thing that must be clear, men must not be the provider. There's no such thing in the Bible where it says the man must provide. God is the provider.
Amen.
Sure.
So that is why in premarital counseling we need to make it clear to the lady and say your husband is not the provider. So because the world has got certain views on marriage and you are taking what the world says and bring it in, then we fail. Yeah, God is a provider. God is a provider. All of us, if you read Proverbs 31, It speaks about the woman who wakes up in the morning, the woman who is an entrepreneur, the woman who goes and sells, and you know. So now
that same woman takes care of her home.
You see.
The same chapter.
You see, so now for us to put pressure on the men and say the men must provide, I think it's a bit unfair and it's unbiblical.
Sure.
If you are going to use the Bible, but then the man mustn't say, I'm not instructed to provide in the Bible, therefore I won't provide. Remember, it says the man must love. So if you love, you don't want to see your wife hungry, you don't want to see your wife without a shower, you don't want to see your wife without the makeup, you don't want to see your wife
without the nails,
without the nails, everything. Why? Because you love her. You see what I'm saying? So we've got the responsibility. We've got the responsibility of loving, and love is it's big. Love is huge. Love means you take care. You know, if you love your family, you'll make sure that the rent is paid. You make sure that when she goes somewhere, you take care. You don't want her to go to the taxis where they will tear stockings and something. You want to make sure that she's comfortable. Yes, you see what I'm saying. So it's very, very important that we make the men aware that the responsibility to love is deep. You don't provide. You don't have to provide because you're a provider. No, you provide because you love. Yeah, you provide because you love. So now, if it happens, you know, as you said, that you lose your job as a man and you can't provide anymore, so now the lady must be there to help and pray for you and say, my father, you are the provider. Provide a job for him, provide ideas for him, you know, provide a way through for him. So now that's when the helper comes in. The helper helps you to cope with this trauma, because it's traumatic for a man not to work. Right? It's very, very traumatic. Yeah, unfortunately, men don't talk. Men don't talk. Then if you look at suicide rates, men commit suicide more than women. Yeah, because men don't talk. Men don't talk, but at least women talk. You know, yeah, and as women talk, they give solutions to one another and they pray together, but men don't. Yeah, so that's why. But then women can be able to help their men succeed in life. Look, women can, sure, they are needed to help. So, but then men must understand as well that I cannot sit and do nothing. I got to do something. I got to sell tomatoes. I got to do whatever, and the woman will help. Yeah. So we swallow our pride. We go and do something, and they can help us.
How do I, as a husband, as a man, you know, with that pride, how do I seek the help from the woman that God has ordained to be my helper, you know, without feeling inferior, without feeling small, without, you know, losing my position as a man, as a father, as a husband, as the head in the household?
Yeah, look, a situation will differ from person to person. But then the first thing that the men must do is to swallow the pride. Nothing stops us from going to our women and say, please help me. You know, I'm struggling in this area. I've tried this and that and that and that. Please help me. They are the helpers. They will come up with ideas. So the first thing that men must do is to swallow the pride. And then if we swallow our pride, then we can be able to be assisted. Yeah, swallowing the pride is key. Yeah.
And Mama, how do you, as a wife, if your husband comes to you, how can you receive him? You know, my wife is actually helping me. without making you feel any less of the man?
I think you, as a woman, you need to reassure your partner that you are there as a helper and you are there to be supportive. When you get married, you make vows, what you say, in sickness and in health, through thick, through thin, I'll be there. It's not saying because you are calling that a condition, no. It comes, but you must be ready for it, for support. You must be ready to encourage. You must be ready not to destroy him and reassure him to know that he is still the head of the family. Yes, you must reassure him and respect him. All the same, you must respect him. And then sit down together and be free with each other. From the beginning, the relationship must be based on trust. The relationship must be based on openness. We need to be free to say what we feel or what we are going through. For each one of us to get help and grow in the relationship. We shouldn't starve one another to say, I say this and this must happen without considering the other partner. So you need to reassure and encourage him to speak, to be open, so that the relationship can go on in a very positive way, where you are going to build each other as a couple.
So, and this topic actually covers the whole financial aspect, because money plays a very, very important role in marriage. So for some people, money is power. And indeed, money can be power, but then the Bible says money is a god. Money is a god, small g. Yeah, because Jesus said to people, you cannot worship God and mammon. So there's God, capital G, and mammon. So God and mammon, they are at the same level. Jesus said that. So it depends how you view money. Yeah, how you view money. So do you view money as your servant, or do you view money as a god?
Sure.
So unfortunately, many people these days, they've taken the view of the world. They want to use money. Say, can I you know, more than you, I earn more than you. You know, yeah. So there was a lecturer some years ago at the varsity called Medunsa. I think it's changed its name now. Now it's called Sifako Makato Medical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now this lecturer, she was a nursing lecturer, so she was earning fairly, fairly high. So she used to boast to the students that, you know, I earn so much, you must listen to me, I'm a lecturer. You know, when my husband's check comes, we put it on top of the fridge because it buys only the milk and everything. You know, so now if you got that kind of attitude in marriage, it won't work. Yeah, and you go out and tell the whole world out there. And probably that man was trying so hard to bring money into the house, and there was no appreciation. So women can help the men do better by appreciating each and every effort that they do. Yeah. No matter how much they earn, every effort appreciated. And actually say it. Men need to hear it. Men need to hear you say, hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And the man comes with a small perfume that doesn't look much. You know, say, oh, thank you very much. You know, oh, I just love it. You know, and then you put it on. Then you go, hey, you know that perfume? Sure. Oh, it's so nice. Hey, thank you very much. You know, yeah. Because why? We all need to be encouraged. Yeah. And women can encourage one another. So now if women can encourage one another, what stops them from encouraging their men? You know? So now they've got that spirit of helping, or that anointing of helping. They can help the men by encouraging him. Yeah.
Sure.
That's why friends are not right. Stay away from friends. Be with your partner all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Your wife, your husband is your friend.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And the prenups and out of community, especially the out of community part, how do we not let it affect, the running of our households? We decide to marry out of community of property, so how do we then prevent it from say arguing and then say my income is my income, your income is your income, your car is your car, my car is my car. How do we prevent such contracts, marital contracts, from disturbing marriage the way God intended marriage to be?
You see, I remember marriage takes place at 3 levels. Number 1, at family level, where the family meets and then they agree, then you put in a deposit or whatever, and that's a marriage, finish, But unfortunately, we live in a country with a constitution. So now the country with the constitution has got its own laws. But then those laws of the constitution shouldn't really affect the marriage that God had intended, because the laws are simply for administration and management purposes, but they shouldn't really decide the fate of your marriage. So now, if a woman and a man have decided, no, you are my wife, there's nothing that I have that does not belong to you. And there's nothing that you have that doesn't belong to me. We don't need a law for that. But unfortunately, the law is limited. You go in there, they tell you about in community of property or out of community of property. So now, and people take that and want to bring it into Christianity or into marriage, and we shouldn't. So now, the in community of property or out of community of property should be a way of administering. For instance, suppose you want to start a business, and you know that the business is risky, and you do not want to jeopardize the family. Then you can marry out of community of property, so that whatever debt you take affects only you and doesn't affect the other party. So it's an admin thing, but not a marriage thing. So, and people need to be taught those things. Because if it's in community of property, if you owe something, if you die, they come for it. So, but then if it's out of community, if you owe something, if you pass away, then the debt passes away. They can never touch it. So it's very, very important that people understand that the in community of property, out of community of property, it's an admin thing. It shouldn't really impact how people view marriage, especially people that claim to believe in the Bible. It's an admin thing.
And how do we deal with that red flag? Saka ke saka. Where are you? You're driving my car. Where are you? Utsutika koliyaka. Renyetsi, ulo mosadi wa kwa ulo monnaka ke mafoka tswa moya na. Utsutika koliyaka ke chautaka. Like osenza chautaka. How do we help fix such attitude in marriage?
Yes, such attitudes can only be fixed by the post-marital counseling. Churches have got marriage seminars where people are taught how to speak, where people are taught to be sensitive. So it's very, very important that people go to the Word of God and learn how to speak. And then maybe they must be reminded that no, it's not yours, it's ours. Because we are in this together. Then even if they can say, but if we are married out of control property, and say no, that's for admin purposes. It has got nothing to do with the marriage that you and I did before God. So remember, God says the two shall become one. and that the marriage the two shall become one. There is no kolo yaka because you are one. Koliki kolo ya rona because you are one. Tichelete ya rona, and people need to drum it in their minds. There is no me, and there's no you. There's us all the time. Yeah, there's us all the time.
I think before two people get married, they come together and they agree that they are going to walk this journey together. So it means an individual dies. It's we now. It's no more me. So we need to take that seriously once we agree to say we are going to walk this life journey together. So the me part must die, knowing that everything is ours and it's us together. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the conversation that
Let's go.
I think if we have a series,
The more you answer, the more questions that come about. For instance, when you were saying marriage is when two people come together and there's a fusing process. I wanted to ask, how long does that take? Like, is there a period where we can say, okay, after 5 years, Papi and Charlie have fused together? After 10 years?
No, there's no end. There's no end. You fuse up until the last day. Yeah, up until the last day when somebody goes into the grave. Yeah, and I mean, even after they're dead, perhaps, look, I'm not at the stage yet. I don't know what happens when the other party is dead. But I believe the remaining party will always be a part of the one that departed. I don't think they can depart and then forget about them, that easily. Yeah. So now the fusing part is an ongoing process. So it's part and parcel of marriage. Marriage doesn't end. It's an ongoing process. You work on it each and every day, because each and every day has got new problems. And for instance, if you got married and you were not a pastor before, so now if you become a pastor in the marriage, now there's a new problem that comes into that relationship, because the lady didn't anticipate to be a mom root. Then further adjustments need to be done. Oh, by the way, I'm now a mom root. Now they cannot say, hey, can I go and I'm a root? No, remember the two have become one. No, we've become one. My burden of preaching. So now if he goes to preaching tomorrow, wherever he's going, then you need to be part and parcel of it. Why? Because you are one. You want him to succeed in what he does, because you are the helper. Yeah. So many people don't understand these things. The problems arise each and every day, and they've got to be solved each and every day. So now the same way as the year, this year is the year 2024. It can't be the same as last year. So now you need to adjust to the year 2024. I was reading something on social media that there are many ants in people's houses these days, all over the place.
It has become a problem.
Yeah, that has become a problem. So you can say, hey, honey, it's your problem. They are ants. No, they affect all of us. How do we deal with them? I was so shocked to find ants in the bathroom, in the tiles.
Even on the stove.
Yeah, so now you see it's a new problem, and we've never seen it before. So now with this problem, you need to come together, solve it jointly, and say, hey, I reckon doom, I reckon bicarbonate of soda, cheese, whatever. You bring your ideas together to try and get rid of the problem. Otherwise, if you want to delegate the problem to somebody else, then unfortunately it won't work. It won't work.
So your answer partially answers the question, why is premarital counseling important?
Absolutely.
Because we keep on evolving.
Absolutely. Yeah. Each and every time we are changing every day. The problems of 1923 are not the same as now. In case maybe you might not know, do you know that the first people to be created were actually of a black skin? So Adam and Eve were black skin. So when people moved over to all over the place, and some moved to Europe and everything else. Now because of the cold, over time, their skin changed, their melanin changed, their hair changed, simply because of the cold. So now,
keep evolving.
Yes. Now, if we were to live 10,000 years, I can tell you, it would be white.
Sure.
If we're in England, if you took a white person from England, bring them here, and they lived for 10,000 years, they will turn and be black.
Sure.
Simply because of the weather and everything else. So that's how things are. We change each and every day. Our kids these days, they want fresh milk for their cereal, and they're like, we didn't even know what cereal is. So things change. We need to adapt all the time. So marriage is dynamic. That's why you need to look forward to changing each and every day, solving your problems each and every day. That's how important marriage counseling is. And post-marital counseling. You can't say, now I am married, now I'm okay. Because I've seen some ladies, even some men, they leave themselves to because they're not married, they don't take care of themselves. They don't put in their makeup anymore. Ladies, they don't wear nails anymore. They dress shabbily and everything else, and that's a problem. Just because you're married does not mean that you can't take care of yourself. You need to continue doing the things that you used to do.
And those that divorce, sort of
and that's why you hear many women, they say, after divorce I got so free, because now they're wearing wig and everything else. Why didn't you wear the wigs while you were still in the marriage? Most of them, they will tell you that, now I'm free. I'm able to do things. Look at me now, my freedom. This freedom you would have had in the family as well, while you're still married. Why? Because people neglect each other when they get married.
So how is it important? I think both of you can answer. So Mukoki said something. So when we are individuals, two individuals, right, coming into marriage, and not only maybe physically or what, how do we keep self, even though we are a unit, like how do we not let go of who Tabi is, who Tlale is, even though Remy is.
And how do I embrace that?
Yes. Osa felicita like how do you Yes. Yeah.
I think as a couple you need to encourage and appreciate one another. And then maybe if you relax as a woman, the husband can buy something, a perfume or a lipstick, to say, my baby, you haven't been applying this, I'm bringing, just to help her go back and take care of herself. Sometimes people do that because of maybe challenges of looking after the boys, looking after the young ones, and then you forget about yourself. So the other party must also help the other one who is too relaxed, maybe. Just to encourage her to say, I know we've got this challenge here for now, but let's continue to be who we were. And then at the same time, maybe the hubby can say, I think we are going to ask the grannies to look after the children, so we can go out for coffee, we can go out for dinner. You must just revive your marriage as a couple together. You must revive it. Don't be too relaxed and get along as if marriage is a burden. Yes, you must enjoy being together. So keep up the standard. Keep up being together and enjoying one another. The children shouldn't come in between you, or whatever challenge you have should not come between you. You need to go out as maybe go out for a date night. Still
forget about it.
Yeah, forget about the one because they were not just for that time. They were not there when you met. So keep the lamp burning, like the fire burning.
I remember Papa. Remember you taught us how relative, family.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
we kept that. I think we've been impatient. Sometimes.
Yeah, and it's very, very important that you, even the chores of the family, there's no female chores and there's no male chores. You know, if you want to wash the dishes, that you go and wash the dishes so that you can be able to have more time. You know, go and help and do whatever. Even if it's cleaning the floor or whatever, don't define duties and say this is for the female and this is for the male. You know? Yeah. You know, sometimes I laugh at myself and say, yeah, I think I'm matured. I go out there and hang the washing. You know? And enjoy it. And she tells me in the morning, please, there's washing in the machine, please hang it for me.
She also does that.
Yeah. You know, and it's a nice feeling. I don't feel disrespected. So, and we should be encouraging that so that we can be able to spend time together. Yeah.
So marriage is what you make it out to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the thing is pride. Pride and bad influence and adopting things of the world and bringing them into marriage.
Sure.
So how the mona doesn't mean I'll trust the Dijan. You know, you must trust the Dijan because you don't want to you know.
Yeah, I think Marita's answered my questions at the line because I wanted to ask because I think we're gonna be coming back. We're definitely coming back. We need to continue this conversation.
Can I close with the last question?
Can I quickly ask some? Maybe you're gonna ask what I want to ask. No, you can ask me.
No, Muridi, I wanted to ask Mama. I wanted to ask what is submission? You know, because like Papa, like you enjoy hanging the laundry. So like the world has portrayed submission as yes. So what is submission? And when the Bible says we will then submit to one another, it doesn't only say I, but then it comes back and then it will submit to one another. So what is submission?
Can I add on to that? And I think hyper submission has also been identified as because if the woman. So king submission without saying and do I begezela and how far do I begezela?
So submission actually is an easy process. We just make it complicated by adopting what the world says. So if we were to understand who we are, so now if we say we are fusing, we are becoming one. So now, for instance, her hand is shorter than mine. So now if we become one like that, it means I must make my hand, which is a painful process, to be smaller so that I can be able to fit in here. You know? Or maybe help her grow to go in here. So you see, so now it's submission, it's in self trying to understand that no, I'm no longer me. I need to satisfy my partner, and my partner says I need to satisfy him. If I've got to stretch my hand, let me stretch my hand for her sake. You know, if I've got to wait, let me wait for her sake. You know, so it's very, very important. Submission is just that you are there to satisfy your partner, and the partner is there to satisfy you, and you help one another grow. Why? Because remember, you're merging into one person. And the merging point, it's not an easy one. Yeah, because like I'm saying, there are families that come and interfere, and it's a big problem. And the world out there, it's saying its own things. That's why now I rely on the Bible and not on the world, because the Bible has been proven to be consistent over a period of time. If you go to Jeremiah, he will tell you the same thing as Isaiah. You go to Isaiah, he will tell you the same thing as Ezekiel. You go to them and tell you the same thing as Jonah. So it's consistent. So now for you to get consistency, you need to understand that you are there to please your wife, and she's there to please you. And that way, submission will be much more easy. So means that if you submit, you do the things that you don't like, but she likes.
You compromise.
There's something I don't know about you, but in my own personal capacity as a man, I hate shopping with her.
The feeling is mutual.
Because I've seen something, I want to go and buy it and come back home. Finish. But she wants to go in there. I've seen it at Pick and Pay, but then it's cheaper there, it's cheaper there, and everything else. Then guess what? You've got to push the trolley, keep quiet. As if you are enjoying it. That's submission. So, but then next time you'll be sitting down to watch Liverpool. She must come and watch Liverpool with you. Even if she does not like it, she must pretend to like Liverpool. So that's what submission is all about. So if you want the other person to do what you're not prepared to do this other side, it won't work.
Powerful. Part one.
This was part one. Yeah. This was definitely part one. We are coming back for part 2, 3, 4.
Sure. There will be many parts, because the problems of tomorrow won't be the same as today. So that's why life is dynamic. Life is dynamic. That's why you got to go with Jesus. He is consistent. You know what he says? He says he is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So he's the one that's consistent. Yesterday was this, today is this, yesterday is this. So he can't change. So if you go with him, you won't go wrong.
And when the husband loves the wife, it will never be difficult for the wife to submit, because the husband will make sure that they both discuss and come into agreement of certain issues together. But because of love, it will be easier for this one to submit.
So there has to be love first.
Yes, for the wife to. Yes.
Sure. So, Madam, how do you then, so I believe that if you're not a born-again Christian, right, Jesus, has not revealed what perfect love is, that you can't demonstrate to your husband or your wife. So how can you then submit to a husband who doesn't know how to love you? I don't know if my question is.
You see,
is it doable?
It is doable. It is doable. The problem is people put conditions. So now, my responsibility, even if I don't see submission, I must not stop to love. And even she does not see love, she must not stop submitting. So if you can remember, it's a process of merging. So if two people can remember that process only, but we are merging two different people into one, and there's going to be challenges in the merging. So if she does not know how to submit, I must keep on loving. I must keep on loving and doing the right thing, patience, applying the right thing, keep on doing good. You know, that's what Jesus said. If somebody hits you this side, give them the other side. Yeah. So now it's a process of somebody saying, okay, I'm not going to hold this against you. Do you want to hit the other side as well? Take. And if it does not move this person whom we are giving the other side, I mean, I can tell you this other person won't take the other side. If you beat me this side, hit the other side as well. They will think, but hey, what have I done? What have I done? Then it will make them think. It will make them think.
That's why marriage is two people who have both decided, they have made a conscious decision to walk together. They are coming from different backgrounds and then they agree to walk together. There will be challenges, but they must be willing to carry one another's burden for them to walk peacefully and lovingly in this journey.
Oh no, so I wanted to know your first impressions when we came for the premarital counseling. And did you see a future, like before you did the premarital counseling, did you see what you are and then where you gonna tell us if maybe you picked up what I sit on?
You see, I always look on the positive side of things, but then to be honest, maybe I was a bit biased because I knew him and I knew his grandfather and I knew what his grandfather used to do and was a great evangelist. So maybe I was a bit biased and say no, things are gonna work. But then, yeah. So, but then coming to see it working, for the fact that you decided to come for counseling, it's a very positive thing. You know that these people are serious. Yeah, you were not forced by anyone. You were not pulled and say, come for counseling, come for counseling. You were not threatened. Say, if you don't go for counseling, we won't marry you. Even though, you see what I'm saying? It came out of your heart. So faith is about what comes out of the heart and you implement it. So I was impressed by the level of faith. And for you to come and trust me and say, hey, this okay, I haven't met him for long, but now I'm trusting him. For you to trust me, sure, I take it very, very seriously. I said, sure, it's an honor. So, and I saw it working. Yeah. And when I give you the target of meeting our target of yes, I know that you're gonna meet it.
You must never go on. Yeah.
And now you're 7, we're 33. Yeah, I know. You must catch up. You must catch up.
Yeah. The willingness that you showed when you came actually said it all. To say you are ready to take this journey together with or without potholes. So you were ready, you have already made a conscious decision that we are getting together, we are getting into this journey together. Yes.
Was that the only one?
So our mom Nani, so she explained what the importance of your premarital counselors are. She explained it in such a way that your premarital counselors are impacting something. So I want to maybe know how important, like, the things that you should look for when you identify that couple that should be your premarital counselors, and the sort of the importance, like how important is it to choose the right premarital counselors, because by impact.
I think when you choose your counselors, you must look at their lives. Or is it something that I can look up to? Or is their life something that I want to look up to, or is it something that I think I don't want to be part of that? So you need to look for people whom you think are teachable and they are easy to approach for you to be able to ask and learn from them.
And also pray before you choose somebody. Yeah. So that's why your local pastor is the first person that you might want to consider, but you must look at their lifestyle. Does the wife come to church with a blue eye or wearing mazaza, hiding something? You know, because it happens. Yeah. So it's very, very important that you pray before you choose somebody that's going to counsel. Yeah. And it's also important to have somebody all the time. So I believe in a 3-tier kind of lifestyle. So, and then it means 3-tier, you are in the middle as a human being. On the side, there's somebody younger that you are coaching, holding the hand. And this side, there's somebody older who's holding your hand and taking you up. You must always remain in the middle. If you're always in the middle, you'll be well balanced. Because you don't want to disappoint him and spoil his future by doing wrong things. And you do not want to disappoint him because he's coaching you. You are not showing that you will make it. You know? So if you can be able to have that kind of lifestyle, then you are going to live a balanced life.
Yeah. The second part, definitely. We thank you so much, Mama and Papa. Thank you for opening up your home to us. Thank you for allowing us to have you as our first guest. As our first guest. It was only right. I mean, they started the journey with us pre-years. So thank you, and we're looking forward to more conversations with you around marriage, the way that God intended to. So we thank you, and we are truly blessed, and we love you so much.
Thank you.
We love you so much, and we're so humbled. The other day we were talking about the honor and respect that you give us whenever you see us. That is truly humbling to us, and we appreciate it. And may God continue blessing you even more. Even the more ministry. You are now 22 years in ministry. Wow. May you add another 22 years in ministry, and may the church continue to grow in accordance to the vision that God has laid in your hearts. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So yes, thank you so much for joining us at home. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions based on today's episode, you can definitely do comment and send us your questions. I am sure Mama and Papa will definitely be willing to answer. They'll definitely answer the questions. So whatever questions that you have concerning premarital counseling, concerning your marriage, please do send your questions, and we will forward them to Mama and Papa Mukoki for them to answer. And they'll be joining us again soonest, very soonest. Yeah, we want you in Malta anytime. Yeah, you'll be joining us again. And with the questions that you have, they'll definitely be, I will ask the questions and they'll be answering them. By God's grace, we'll go live soon with them. We'll definitely go live with them. So yes, thank you so much for joining us. And if you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed? So yes, please don't forget to subscribe,
to like,
to comment,
and to share,
and to switch on the notification buzzer. Thank you so much.
We love you.
We love you. God bless.